All right, this section is complete the following fraction and decimal multiplication, show your work, and if possible, simplify. So this is number 2 on the end of try review. So let's start with fractions. We'll start with 7/8 multiplied by 5/4. Now this one, these are pretty simple. All you have to remember to do is multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So 7/5, or 7 times 5, 7 times 5 is 35, and then 8 times 4 is 32. Now looking at that, I can see right away that it's an improper fraction. I know that 35 is bigger than 32, so I'm going to take care of that right away. 32 goes into 35 one time, and if I take away 35 from 32, I have 3 left over, so that's my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. Now I need to check that fraction. My 1's going to stay the same, but if anything goes into both 3 and 32, I would want to simplify. But 3 is a prime number, and it does not go evenly into 32, so that is simplified. All right. The next one, again, just multiply numerators, multiply denominators. So 2 times 1 is 2. 7 times 4 is 28. Now I want to simplify this because I can see right away that they're both even, so I know that they are both divisible by 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 over 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 28 divided by 2 is 14. All right, so those were the fractions. Now let's take a look at multiplication. All right, what I've been practicing with my classes is just forget about the decimals. Pretend they're not even there until the very end. So I'm going to rewrite this as 132 times 3. So now I'm going to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. And since there aren't any other numbers that I have to deal with, I'm done with my multiplying now. Now I just have to find out where my decimal goes. So I look at the amount of numbers behind the decimal in the original problem. And I have 1 number there, 2, and 3, so I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 times. My answer is 0.396, or 396 thousandths. Now I can also do this using a generic rectangle, which I know many people have been really liking. So again, I'm going to pretend the decimals aren't there until the very end, and I'm going to make my box. And now I have a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number. Alright, so my 3 is going to go over here, and I'm going to split this up, and I'm going to have 130 and 2. I'm going by place value here. So 3 times 100 is 300. 3 times 30 is 90. 3 times 2 is 6. So now I just need to add that up. 300 plus 90 plus 6, making sure to line them up very carefully. And I get 396. Again, same thing with my decimals. I know I have 1, 2, 3 numbers that come after the decimal. So I move it 1, 2, 3 times, and I get the same answer. Now let's take a look at this one. So we have 8.2 multiplied by 423. Now with multiplication, it doesn't matter what order you put it in. So I could put the 423 on top, and again, I'm pretending the decimals aren't even there. So I'll show you both ways again. So this is 423 times 82 now. I'm going to start with multiplying by 2's. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I'm done with my 2, and I'm going to put a 0 in as my placeholder. Now I'm going to multiply each of the 4, 2, and the 3 by 8. So 8 times 3 is 24. Put the 4 down. Carry my 2 up top. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18, so put my 8 down, my 1 on top. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. I'm being very careful on how I line up my numbers. So now I need to add them together. 6 plus 0 is 6, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, put the 6 down, carry the 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, and then I just have 3. So I have 34,686, but I can't forget to take care of my decimals, so I have 1, 2, 3 numbers that I need to move it, so 34 and 686 thousandths. Now I can show you our generic rectangle for this one. It's a little bit different. This one is a 2 by 3 box, so it's going to be a little bigger so that you have some good room to write. So I'm going to have 80 and then 2 and 420 and 3. So again, I can do this by ignoring the zeros in my problem to make it easier. So I can do 8 times 4 in my first box. 8 times 4 is 32, and then there were 3 zeros, so I need to add 3 zeros at the end. 2 times 4 is 8, add 2 zeros. 8 times 2 is 16, add 2 zeros. 2 times 2 is 4, add 1 zero. 8 times 3 is 24, add 1 zero. And 2 times 3 is 6. We don't need to add any zeros there. Now I'm going to very carefully line this up. So I have 32,000, 1,600, 800, 240, 40, and 6. And notice I kind of lined it up by size just to keep it a little bit more organized. And now I'm going to add those numbers together. So I have 6, and then 8, 16, carry the 1, 4, and 3. So again, I got those same numbers as I did before, and I'm going to move it 3 times because of my 3 numbers.